Voting is a complicated topic in Black America. To be honest, it's touchy. Sometimes it might even get crazy. You have some Black people who believe in voting. Many people believe that voting doesn't work. No matter what you do, getting out there to the polls, people believe that, it's kind of rigged and your vote doesn't count. Meanwhile, other people believe that we fought as African Americans for the right to vote because we had voter suppression and people died for the voting block. So we should exercise our right to vote. Today, I want to focus our conversation on a particular person who doesn't believe that voting will be the answer. And this is also Booker T. Washington's opinion. But this brother is Tariq Nasheed. He had a really good podcast the other day about Joe Biden and his promise to Black America. We all know that Joe Biden has no promise to Black America. Whenever you bring up reparations or anything to it, he always moves and dodges the question. The first part of Tariq Nasheed's video, I want to talk about why he believes that it's not worth it for Black people to vote, and then we're going to come back.
But listen. A lot of stuff going on. So your boy Biden, listen, they're out here campaigning very heavy. They're out here doing the same old 4-year hustle where they go out here and start doing this janky pandering to Black people to get us to vote without actually giving us anything. These people know that we want tangibles. We're letting them know we're not getting in that voting booth till we get some tangibles, ladies and gentlemen. We want tangibles, and they're playing games with our damn tangibles. They want to act funny style. Yeah? They want to act real funny style with our paper. So we got to send a message to the Democrats, ladies and gentlemen. Now, my thing is not jumping over to the Republicans, but if some of you want to do that, knock yourself out. But my thing is I'll choose the couch. I'm willing. We got to let the Democrats know. We got to send a message to them. This is why they're trying to flood the zone. They're trying to let these immigrants come over, flood the zone, and use them as a new constituency. And we have to let them know that's not going.
Now, in this next clip, we're going to see, Joe Biden actually execute a dodge on a question, and you're going to see Tariq Nasheed deal with it in this way.
I wish you had interviewed some of the Black business people here, the Black leaders that are here. And they told me about how they're moving. They have loans. They have direct payments that are being...
Man, if you don't stop lying, man, hold on. Let me get on camera. Hold on. Man, if you don't stop lying with these loans, let me tell you something, man. We got the Black History Museum. We got the Hidden History Museum here in L.A. The federal government has all types of money earmarked for museums and educational institutions and historic institutions. They have money earmarked for that stuff. We can't get a dime because every time we try to go get a grant or any type of resource for our Black History Museum, we got to go through Hispanics, Native Americans, white LGBT. We got to go through a whole bunch of people who skim all the money. We don't get anything. Don't let him sit here and lie like this, man. This is a damn lie. I'm telling you from experience, this is a damn lie. All these loans and stuff, man, we don't get nothing, man. We don't get a damn thing, man. Not from them. The loans go to all of these other groups. Don't let them run that game. I'm telling you from experience, man. All right, hold on. All right, hold on. Boy, ain't nobody going for these lies no more.
Being made by the government to keep them going. Look, there's not a single thing they can't do given a shot. Just given a shot. It's not only Black, but Hispanic and Asian Americans.
Oh, Lord. See? It didn't take long, did it? It didn't take long for him to pivot to Native Americans and Hispanics. I haven't even seen this interview. Boy, it did not take long. The minute they mentioned Black people, boy, they got a crowbar everything in there with us. They don't do this when they're talking to all these other groups. When they're talking to other groups, they don't put us in the conversation at all. Boy, he immediately pivoted. That's why I'm choosing the damn couch. You are a fool to vote for damn Biden.
So again, there is Joe Biden deflecting. Kamala Harris does the same thing. So what are you voting for is the position that he's putting out there. There are other people like Roland Martin and very popular black Democrats who believe that voting is the answer for black America.
I'm not gonna mince any words right here. For all of you trifling punk ass people who sit out there and you make comments on message boards and you post on social media and you say stuff in barbershops and beauty salons and you say that Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson was performative politics by President Joe Biden. When you say that voting doesn't matter, here's perfect proof where a single federal judge can issue a ruling that impacts the entire country. I have said numerous times why voting matters, because guess what? Whoever is the president gets to pick federal judges. Whoever's in the United States Senate, the Senate who controls it, they get to confirm federal judges. And these people are there for life. And so for all y'all people who love to sit here and talk about who's the Democratic shield and this, that, and the other, do understand that these federal judges can impact your black ass every single day. There are people who literally are sitting in prison because some conservative federal judge will not look at the evidence that could free them from jail. There are people who have been sent to prison and they have been freed because of federal judges. Federal judges, the power that they have is enormous. If you need any further evidence that one federal judge in Amarillo, Texas can issue a ruling that impacts the entire country, but you still have these simple Simons out here who say voting is a waste of my time. I don't see anything changing. Well, guess what? The folks who oppose you, they are voting. They're voting in Tennessee, they're voting in Mississippi, they're voting in Florida, they're voting in Texas, and if you think for a second that they don't understand the power, well, then you absolutely are clueless.
And other clips like this.
The reason why you should vote is so you can control your destiny. Power won't invest in poor people unless poor people invest in power. This is a number-based system. This is a numbers-based country. Your one vote counts.
And to be honest, I see both sides. I mean, I've heard stories from people that lived in Alabama in the 60s. My godmother lived in Pritchard, Alabama. You know, in the time where you need to cross the street and not look at white folks in the face, really hostile times. So I understand that people fought and died and had dogs sicked on them just to vote. However, if you're going to vote, what should you give? Imagine going to a store and you're spending your money, okay? Spending your money. Let's say the Apple store. When you go into the Apple store, it's always a positive experience, even if you're not spending money. If it's hot, you go into the Apple store, it's even better service than some restaurants. You get a water, you get attended to right away. It's also like going to Disneyland, the customer service is great. But let's assume that you went to a place and it wasn't like that. Service is terrible, you're spending your money, and every year you're getting less and less for what you pay for. You will become disgruntled. What the African American community has done for the last 50, 60 years is we voted for the same party year after year after year after year, every 4 years, and got nothing for our vote. So what Tariq Nasheed is saying, well, listen, some of y'all don't like Republicans, right? And we know a lot of black Democrats hate Republicans. And I can kind of see why. You got blacks like Candace Owens and some of those other conservative perspective channels. And whenever you see blacks on the Republican side, it's always like they're talking down to African Americans and they're saying the things that blacks can't say. Like here's like Tommy Sotomayor. Check this out.
Tommy Sotomayor is a radio show host. Tommy, you are my envoy to Black America. Johnny's my correspondent. You're my envoy. Will the Chicken Summit be effective?
No, because let me tell you something, Jesse. he forgot to bring watermelon and grape drink. Now, if he had brought watermelon and grape drink, that would have completed the trifecta. But he felt like we only like chicken, and we need these things in conjunction with each other. And I'm just sad that he decided to carry it a little farther and say, let me get a hamburger so I can let you know I'm different than you. I don't know if you heard that part. He decided to have a hamburger. He didn't want none of that Negro food.
He did not want the chicken, that's for sure.
So it's things like that where they use blacks to belittle each other. So a lot of African Americans are not also cool with that. And Republicans do have some pretty good things that they talk about, especially when it comes to family values, hard work ethic, business. Hey, Republicans have pretty good ideas that a lot of us as blacks couldn't really get with, but it comes off as racist. Should you vote or not? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. But one thing is, you shouldn't vote for Democrats. Here's what also needs to happen. Booker T. Washington believed this. Voting is not the answer, but if you run industries and you own things in your community, that is more powerful than voting, because then you influence people with your money. So while voting may or may not be the answer, here's what is the answer. Your ownership of your economy and what you can do for your group as far as bringing resources together impacts political decisions. Whenever you hear the LGBTQ community, for example, have issues that they're concerned with, they're not the majority of people in America, but they do spend a lot of money. Asians, the Jews, you never really hear those groups talking about voting or not voting. What they do is they own industries and they have money, and that money collectively will pretty much go to anybody who's in office that's going to execute something for them. Here's the part of politics that African Americans don't play, or we don't play enough. I honestly feel that we have so many people in the community that we're disgruntled. We feel like, hey, we've been here, we're owed something, and all of that is true. But just because you feel like you're owed something, it doesn't mean that they're going to give it to you. The collaboration between blacks and also doubling down on investing into your resources would bring about a change in governments, because people would need to seek you out just like back in the day. This is not voting, but when Ebony started to build itself, when Ebony built its own base, blacks couldn't get their literature from a white magazine. Want to know who started coming in and advertising with Ebony? Big white Caucasian businesses. They needed us. So we have to be needed. Even if our vote is not needed, our business is needed. What we do for our community is needed. And once you have something that somebody wants, they have to obey. This is what every other group understands. When we have something that you want, you have power, okay? Now, the black vote is not as important anymore as it was. It's okay important, but it's not the Hispanic vote. But the Hispanic vote, it's versatile. It's Dominicans, it's Puerto Ricans, it's Mexicans, it's Colombians. All these groups historically do not like each other or have gotten along. But they also have businesses. They also have families. They also have pull. And black Americans and our allies in the black world and the black community, these are the things that we need to leverage, like these other groups, to be able to get the things we want. It's not just about voting. It's about power. It's about, can you force somebody to do something that you want with your resources? And once you can do that, it's better. And it does take a lot of work. Voting or not voting is important, and I get both sides of it. They're great arguments there. But the community grassroots level, like what Brother Tariq Nasheed did, he raised $1 million or $2 million for the Hidden History Museum. I seen blacks do a lot of stuff. Spike Lee raised like $1 million or $2 million for a movie. That's the kind of stuff that needs to be more recognized, right? Those grassroots level things. And if it was more of it, if it was more trust and collaboration, then people would have to adhere to what you're talking about. And then the vote, which is still important, wouldn't be more as important as your ability to galvanize your own group. So what do you think? Are you voting for Biden? Are you gonna vote for Trump? What about this in the migrant crisis? I mean, that migrant crisis really has a lot of brothers pissed off, and somebody wants to do something about it. I already talked about what's going on in Chicago. Some brothers saying, listen, man, we don't even want to let the Democratic National Convention even come here. What do you guys think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson. I'm out.